Hello everybody, welcome. Basically, I'm Zoyags, welcome. For this whole entire reading, I'm going to be doing this as basically the day of the week of March 24th to March 28th of 2025. So in this wonderful reading, how this is going to be very pleasant or not, but it all depends on your guys' point of view, okay? Now, the point being is that in this remarkable reading, whether it's good or bad, whether it's going to be very essential, whatever it is, you have to understand that there are things that you must learn first. In order to do that, you need to figure out about what's going on in that way, and when things go a different angle or a different way, you have to put that together, right? You have to do that, right? Whether you seem to be very good at what it seems to be, and you think that okay, well, everything's fine, dandy, what have you, but then you have to think about that, right? You have to think about your own strengths, your weaknesses, your abilities. You have your own emotions, feelings, during the week, right? And whether you're having a good day, bad day, whatever it is, it all depends on how you're going to make it through the week, right? So you have to understand that when things go a different angle or a different way, or you're having a bad day, or that's the way it goes, or you need to acknowledge about what's going on in the surroundings, right? You have to think about what's going on through your own way, whether it happens at work, whether it happens at home, whether it happens at school, whether it happens at you can think of, right? So you have to understand that you have to believe in order to proceed and do what you can, right? You have to feel like everything will be fine, dandy, what have you. But then you need to understand that when you believe in what's going to be going on, you have to pay attention to it, right? You have to do what you can, because there are things you must learn first. And in order to do that, you need to believe that everything will be fine, right? You have to understand that, right? So you have to believe that, you have to understand that, and you have to understand of how things are in that way, and you think that okay, well, everything will be fine. But then you have to think that okay, well, this is going to be very interesting, this is going to be how tempting it is, but you have to believe that. You have to have that majority of knowing what's going on right through that situation. So whether it you you do your own check-ins or whatever it is, or you have to think about what's going on. That's how it seems to be, right? So this is the way of how it kind of concludes. But it's based on that, right? It's based on how you can do what you can, and you have to believe on how it is. But this is how it is, right? Because you have to have your own variety of different things in categories, right? That's the way it goes. But that's how it seems to be, right? So, I'm going to read you an oracle card, and it says, loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. That's the way it goes, right? So, when you have loneliness, whether if you are alone in the forest, whether if you're alone in the field, or whatever it is, you're not the only one that is being lonely. Lonely is basically, there is a way of how it is, right? It's not like almost saying, but there's like a bad experience. But when you have a good experience, you have to pay attention to it, right? If you're feeling lonely, it's like you're feeling, you're being betrayed, or, you're having your own isolation, or you're having a bad day, or whatever it is. Loneliness does cause that. And when things aren't going your way as planned, or whether, you think that everything will be fine, it's like, well, no, it's not. But you have to believe that when you have loneliness, you have to think that, okay, well, this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be a tempting how it is, right? You have to think that this is a very interesting way of knowing about this, right? This is the how it is, right? So whether you seem to be having like loneliness, you have to pay attention to it. You either, if you're having a good way, or having not so good, or whether you're talking to yourself or asking questions and then you answer them. That's how it is, right? So you're trying to feel like you're not be in a lonely position, but that's how it seems to be, right? That's the way it how it is, right? So you have to pay attention whether everything will be all great and graceful and everything needs to be in that way, and saying, all right, well, this is going to be very interesting in one way, right? So when you have the ability to have loneliness, it means that you need to understand that the way of how this is, the way of how this outcome goes, and you have to pay attention to it. That's how it seems to be, right? So when you have loneliness, its ability to understand about how you're feeling, the way how everything is going to be ending up being, that's the way it kind of concludes, right? So, this is the way it kind of is, and that's how it seems to be in that way, and you think that, okay, well, everything will be fine, and that's how it is, right? That's the way it seems to be. So when you have loneliness, it's like how everything is going to be in that way, and you think that everything will be fine, but that's how it kind of concludes in that baseline, and that's how it seems to be. So you have to believe that everything will be fine, and that's how it kind of concludes, right? So that's how it's based on that. So we're going to look at for one card, and then I'm going to do what it takes, right? So that's how it seems to be, all right? So here we go. So in this fine reading that I'm going to be doing is, you have the levers. It does make, you have decisions that you're going to make. So when you have decisions during this week, right through Monday all the way to Saturday during this week, you have to pay attention whether you're having decisions. When you have decisions, you're going to make your own way of saying, all right, well, I got this, I know what to do, vice versa. That's how it seems to be. But then you need to believe that everything has to be in that way, in that category, in that position, right? And that's how it seems to be. So you have to pay attention whether things will be all good, and you have to proceed with caution. You have to understand that, right? That's the way of how it seems to be in that moment, right? So you have to understand that, right? So that's how it seems to be in that way, and you think that, okay, well, everything will be fine, dandy, what have you. But that's how it seems to be. So let me clarify. I'm going to clarify the levers. Okay, so I'm going to go from the left to the right to the middle. So let me see what's going on the left side. So we have the Seven Pentacles is upright, followed by the Hermit is reversed, followed by the Judgment reversed. So there's no action, there's no solitude. You already have a soulmate. That's how it is. Seven Pentacles, you're going to look at your career. That's the way it goes, right? So during this week, you're going to look at your career, what's happening in that way, and you think, okay, well, everything will be fine, dandy, what have you. But that's how it seems to be in that format, and you think, okay, well, this is the way of how it kind of concludes in that way. We're going to clarify the Hermit and the Judgment. The Knight of Wands is upright. So you could be feeling like you're going to be having immaturity, like you're going to be maybe acting, you're going to be immature during this week. It could be very interesting of how it is. So beyond that point, whether if you're acting like you're going to be immaturing on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday, during this week, you have to pay attention to it. So whether if you're going to be mastering your own career or whether it is, that's how it is. So, you could be dealing with another Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius as fires, a fire sign as a zodiac sign. Earth sign would be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as another zodiac sign, so pay attention to it as well. What's going on for the right side? The Justice reversed, followed by the Sun card is upright, followed by the Ten of Swords is upright. So you're going to have conclusions based on how it is at the end of this week, maybe coming up. That's how it is for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So just look at that ending of how it is. You could be having positivity on basically Wednesday, so you have to pay attention on the way of how this is going to conclude. The Just reverse, you're not balancing two things at once yet, but you have to pay attention on how everything is going to be in that right moment of time. That's how it is in that way, right? That's the way it seems to be. What's in the middle of this situation? The Page of Swords reverse. So you're not going to have any education right now because you could be getting educated. Maybe that's how it is. But that's how it seems to be in that moment. I'm going to clarify that Page of Swords. The Ten of Wands reversed, followed by the Three of Swords is upright. So you might have a little bit of heartbreak. Maybe you're going to be feeling sad about something in that way. but be cautious about what you're doing during this week, during about what's going on in this way, and you think that everything will be all tempting or whatever it kind of concludes. It's based on how you can do what you can and say, all right, well, this is the way it is, but then you have to pay attention on whether things will go in that way, in that position, right? So when you think about it, you think, okay, well, everything's going to be fine. It's like, yeah, but, not necessarily. So let me clarify. I'm going to clarify from the left side to the right side to the middle. So during the week, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Seven of Cups reversed, the Strength card reversed, followed by the Knight of Swords reversed. So there's not going to be any drama for this week. You're not going to have any strength, or you're not going to have any delusions during the week. So you have to pay attention on whether things will be good or bad in that sequence, and you think, okay, well, everything will be all good in that way, and you think that everything will be fine and dandy and what have you. That's how it seems to be. So I'm going to clarify the Seven of Cups, the Strength card, and the Knight of Swords. The Fool reversed, followed by the Four of Wands reversed, followed by the Five of Swords is upright. So you could be having conflict between which day you might have it in that way. So you could be dealing with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius during that week. So you have to pay attention on your feelings, your own emotions of how you're feeling during that week. So it could be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Pay attention to it in that way and think, okay, everything will be fine, right? What's happening on the right side? So you have the Knight of Swords is upright, followed by the Sun card reversed, followed by the King of Wands is upright. So you could be feeling like you're having passion during the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Sun card reversed, you're going to have basically negativity during Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Pay attention to it. The Knight of Swords is upright, you're feeling trauma in that perfect way. Having trauma is very not very good, because you're not feeling like everything will be all representing you. It's not going to be how it is. You're going to feel like, everything will be all resentment, or you're having a very a bad week or something. That's how it seems to be. So you have to pay attention on what's going on in this surroundings, and you think that, okay, well, everything will be a pressuring point of how it's going to be in that sequence, right? So you have to believe that everything will be fine in that way. What's happening in the middle of this position? Four of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Two of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Empress reversed, followed by the Ace of Cups is upright. So the majority is where you might be tempting about having that, having romance in that way. Basically, you're feeling that everything will be fine and dandy, what have you. But then you have to believe that, you have to understand that everything has to be in that moment of time where everything will be how it is, right? So when you're feeling like you're having the ability of, you're feeling like everything is not going your way as planned, or whether you're feeling like, feeling sick as your stomach or whatever, it's like things are not going as planned, as they hoped, as what it seems to be. So you have to believe that everything has to be in that way, and saying, all right, well, this is going to be fine and how it is, but that's how it seems to be in that way. So I'm going to clarify the Five of Swords. I'm going to do one card for the Five of Swords, one card for in the middle, one card on the right. So you have the world that is basically in completion. So everything is incompleted, okay? Now in the middle, let's see. The High Priestess is upright, okay, and what's on the right side? The Emperor is upright. So basically, during Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, basically you have structure on that way. Wednesday, you have basically the High Priestess is upright. You have your inner voice. You're going to use your inner voice as it goes along. And on Monday and Tuesday, for the world reversed, basically you have incompletion, because you could be having conflict as the start of this week. I don't know why, but let's continue, right? So you have to understand that you have to have the ability from your own strengths, your own weaknesses, and you think that everything will be on how it is in one way. So I'm going to clarify the world. The Moon reversed, followed by the Temperance reversed, followed by the Hierophant reverse. So you're going to have no guidance during that way. The Emperor's reverse, but then the Sun card is upright. So you're going to have positivity during the week of Monday and Tuesday. Pay attention to it in that way, in that position. What's happening on Wednesday for the High Priestess? You have the Strength card is upright, followed by the High Priestess here. So basically you have no inner voice during that time. But then you have the Strength because you're going to have that in that way. So that's how it seems to be. The High Priestess, I'm going to clarify that. The Chariot reversed, followed by the Devil is upright. So you're going to have basically addictions, or you're going to have violence, or whatever it is on a Wednesday. Try to pay attention to that. Try to pay attention about having the ability, about having the, about how it is, where you're feeling not so good as the way it goes, and you think that, well, this is not going to end well. This is not going to be the way it seems to be in that way. So you have to proceed with caution. You have to do what you can, but pay attention to it during that Wednesday. On Thursday and Friday and Saturday, during the Emperor of this structure, I'm going to clarify that, please. The Hangman reverse, followed by the Fool reverse, followed by the Tower is upright. So everything is going to change in a mastering way. When everything changes in that way, everything is going to be transforming. So when you pay attention, you have to think about, okay, well, this is the way it goes. I'll do it. I'll pay attention. I'll know how it is in that way. So you have to believe on how it is in that way. That's how it is. So what's happening for Monday and Tuesday? What's happening on Wednesday? What's happening on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? On the right side. So let's see what's going on. So on Monday and Tuesday, it says the altar, Priestess, preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. So you're going to have preparation on that day. You're going to be prepared of what you're going to be looking for. Maybe you're going to pray about something. Maybe you're going to pay attention to it. This is what you're going to pay attention about, being the feminine as the wonderful woman. You have to pay attention on how you can do that in one way or another, and everything has to be all how it is in that way. So you have to do what you're told to do in that way, and you think that everything will be fine, dandy, but you have to pay attention on how it is in that way, okay? So that'll be happening on Monday and Tuesday on the left side. On Wednesday, in the middle, let's see, you have the Hungering Ghosts is obsessions, secrecy, consciousness, attachment. So when you have basically obsessions, you're going to have obsessions. Basically, you're going to be obsessed about something. Maybe you're going to be having the way of how it is on the Wednesday. Pay attention about what's going on in that surroundings of how it's going to be on the Wednesday. Pay attention about what's going on through where you're having addictions or whatever it is. Pay attention to what's going on in that way, and you have to do what you're told to do. You have to do what you can, because in that way you have to do what you're told to do, and you have to do what you're going to be doing, and that's how it is in that way. So pay attention to it, okay? And on the right side for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you have the Gaia's garden is fruition, abundance, reaping what you saw. Okay, so when you have basically abundance, you're going to have abundance during Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention where your money's going. Pay attention about what's happening in that way. That's how it is. So when you have that ability, you know what's going on in that way, and you have to be do what you're told to do in that way of how it seems to be, and you have to pay attention to it in one full way of how it is. Okay, so understand that. Okay, so that's how it seems to be. Let's see, in this wonderful way, I'm going to clarify for Monday and Tuesday on the left side for one card. So Three of Swords is upright, so you're going to have heartbreak. Yeah, you're going to feel sad during Monday and Tuesday. Pay attention about your emotions, pay attention about how you're feeling, pay attention on how it seems to be. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius as a air signs as zodiac signs, pay attention to that. On Wednesday, let's see, the Ten of Cups is upright, so there's going to be completion on Wednesday, pay attention to it. So you could be deal with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio as water signs, as zodiac signs, pay attention to it. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, on the right side, you have the Magician is upright, so you're going to have skill, okay? So you're going to have that ability from understanding about how it is in one way or another, so that's how it seems to be. So I'm going to clarify the Three of Swords on Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to clarify this. So let's see what's happening. The Seven of Swords is upright, followed by the Nine of Cups is upright. So basically, on the Seven of Swords, you're feeling deceit on that day, and at Nine of Cups, you're basically, the universe is telling me, the Nine of Cups is basically telling me that it is fulfilled. Everything is going to be fulfilled, and that's how it seems to be in that way. So you have to pay attention on what's going on in that ability from the right or wrong perspective, and that's how it goes. So you do what you're told to do, and you have to do what you can, and you have to provide what you're looking for in that way. So I'm going to see what's behind this in that way. And let's see what's going on for Monday and Tuesday. Oh yeah, so you have anxiety. Yeah, you're going to have anxiety on that day. So pay attention if you're feeling, where you're going to be feeling sad, or you're feeling whimpering, you're going to cry, whatever, because there was something wrong in that way, because that's how it is, because I don't know what was happening in that way, but give it time, give it the way of how it is in that way, and you think that everything will be fine in that category between Monday and Tuesday. Pay attention to it. On Wednesday, everything will be completion. Everything is going to be completed in that way, but then you have to understand what's going on in that position of how it seems to be. So I'm going to clarify. The Queen of Swords is upright, so you're going to have independence. Five of Wands reversed, there's no chaos. Not yet. So, that's the way it seems to be. Queen of Swords does resistance. You're gonna have independence on Wednesday. You're going to do what you're told to do what you can. How it seems to be in that moment. I'm going to clarify that the way of how it is for the Five of Wands on Wednesday. The Six of Swords reversed, so there's going to be no movement, nothing, because you're going to feel like you're going to be feeling sad and whatever, because it's about during that way, right, during that time. What's happening with this Six of Swords here? Ace of Pentacles reversed, so there's no growth. Three of Cups reversed, there's no celebration. Eight of Wands reversed, so there's going to be no speed, nothing. Nine of Swords reversed, there's no trauma. But then the Six of Wands is upright. You're going to have achievement. So when you have achievement, you're going to achieve about something, because you're going to feel like all emotions are the way of how it is, where you're feeling like having a blah moment, or when you're having a way of how everything is not going as planned, right? So you have to believe that when you have no movement, no speed, nothing, it's like you're feeling like you're gonna have low energy. So pay attention to this on Wednesday. Pay attention to it. So you have to understand that, okay? Now, what's happening on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for this Magician card? Let's see. So the Three of Wands reversed, so you're gonna have no communication, and the Emperor reversed, you're not gonna have any structure. Okay, so basically, you're telling me that the universe is telling me you're gonna have no communication on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Ooh, this is how it kind of welcomes that. When you have no completion, it's like why you're not gonna do that in that way, and that's how it seems to be. So I'm gonna clarify the Three of Wands and the Emperor. Let's see. The Queen of Wands is upright, so you're gonna have charisma in that way. So that's how it seems to be. What's opposite with this charisma? The High Priestess reversed, you're not gonna use your inner voice. The Five of Pentacles reversed, you're not going to have any insecurity. The Tower reversed, there's no transformation. Page of Cups reverse, there's not going to be no loyalty. 4 of Wands reverse, there's no celebration. 10 of Swords is upright because you're going to have conclusions. Yeah, so when you have conclusions, you're going to have conclusions between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday during that time, because everything is going to be on hold. That's how it is. But that's how it seems to be in that way. So you have to do what you're told to do. What's happening on Monday and Tuesday? What's happening on Wednesday? What's happening on Thursday, Friday, Saturday? On the right side. So let's see. What's happening on Monday and Tuesday on the left side? Life experience. Archangel Camille is a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So basically, you're gonna have a powerful revelation of basically do what you're told to do. Pay attention about what's going on in this during this week events of how it seems to be, and you have to do what you're doing in that way, and you think that everything will be fine, but then you have to pay attention during that way, right? So you have to do what you're told to do, be responsible, pay attention, that's how it seems to be in that way. So do what you're doing, and this is how it seems to be in that way. So remember, it's going to be Monday and Tuesday during that way, okay? What's happening on Wednesday? The moon, Archangel Haniel, is important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Yeah, so there's going to be events behind the scenes on Wednesday, because you're not feeling so good. Maybe you're going to have a low energy. You're not going to be having any movement or anything because you're feeling like everything is not going as planned, right? And you're not feeling so good, whatever it is. But try to pay attention on what you're going to be doing during that way, during that time, and during the way of how it seems to be in that alphabetical order, right? So you have to pay attention on how it seems to be in that way, right? So it's behind the scenes of how you're feeling, how you're doing, whatever it is. But then you have to know what's going on in that way, okay? And what's happening on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on the right side? Let's see. The 7 of Earth is seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. Yeah, so there's going to be a temporary pause in action because what I said before, I'll say it again, is where basically it seems that you're going to have, everything is going to be on hold. Everything is going to be on halted, whatever it is. You're going to procrastinate, put things at the back burner, whatever it is, because that's how it is, right? So you have to do what you can to think that everything will be fine, dandy, what have you, but then you have to pay attention to it. So you could be deal with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as another earth signs, as zodiac signs, but you have to pay attention to how it is, right? That's how it seems to be. So that's how it kind of concludes. But before I let you all go, try to pay attention during this week. Try to pay attention about what's going on in this way. Try to have your own way of saying that, okay, well, this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be how it is. This is the way it seems to be in that way. So when you have your own dialogue, when you have your own way, how you're feeling, how you're doing, that's how it is in one way. So you have to take a deep breath, you have to pay attention what's going on, and you have to do exactly what you are told to do. So you have to do what you can in that way, and you have to do exactly what you're doing. So you have to do exactly. So I hope you all like this video. Please, enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye for now, really. And